Here's the analysis result for the guy you filled out the survey for. The result? C minus. This guy is below par. He has some issues to watch out for. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He is unlikely to go far in his career, even if he sounds confident when he talks about the future. You might see him starting things with enthusiasm and making promises about promotions or success, but he rarely puts in the steady effort needed to grow. So, what you hear from him is more show than real action.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he is much more likely to break down than bounce back. He might get angry very quickly, maybe yelling or blaming others instead of trying to fix the problem. You may notice him pulling away, becoming moody, or even avoiding people until things calm down.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
He often struggles to get along with people at work and he tends to rub others the wrong way. His direct and sometimes rude way of talking, mixed with a short temper, means disagreements happen often. Although he means well deep down, his harsh reactions and the way he withdraws can make him hard to work with.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do very well in your career, he's more likely to feel threatened or insecure than proud. At first, he might act supportive or even cheer you on, but deep down, your success could make him uneasy. Be prepared for some arguments or coldness during your moments of celebration.
What if you start earning more than him?
Yes, if you earn more than him, there's a strong chance he will secretly resent it or feel insecure. He may not always say it directly, but you'll notice changes. Maybe he'll get irritated over small things, make sly jokes about your job, or become distant when you talk about work. This could create stress in the relationship unless you talk things through openly and honestly.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He tends to handle money carefully, wanting everything to be orderly and planned. He likes routines and rules, so he's not the type to make big purchases on a whim or waste money without thinking. You'll probably find him paying bills on time and making sure things are in control financially.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He usually lives within his means and doesn't try to impress others by pretending to be richer than he really is. He likes things to be straightforward and under control, So, showing off or spending just to look successful isn't really his style. In general, he keeps things realistic and doesn't fake a lifestyle he can't afford.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He's more likely to be tight with both money and mindset. He prefers things to be controlled and orderly, so he doesn't often spend freely or give without thinking. He's not the type to surprise you with gifts or help someone just for the joy of it.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He's more likely to be secretive and controlling when it comes to money. He wants to keep everything in order, so he might insist on knowing every detail and making all the decisions himself. If you ask questions about spending or try to share financial choices, he could get defensive or shut down the conversation.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He's more likely to believe that housework should mostly be your responsibility, not something to share equally. His orderly habits mean he likes things to be clean and organized, but instead of pitching in, he may expect you to handle most chores. If you want a true teammate at home, you might find yourself disappointed.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He's the type who's more likely to supervise than actually pitch in with chores and diapers. You might find him pointing out what needs to be done or reminding you if something's missed, but rolling up his sleeves and getting his hands dirty is rare. Don't expect a lot of teamwork. You'll probably feel more managed than supported.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He usually argues to prove that he's right rather than truly trying to understand your side. Even if you explain your feelings calmly, he may get defensive, talk over you, or dismiss what you're saying. His main focus is on winning the argument, not solving the problem together.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he's likely to say hurtful things or act in an aggressive way rather than staying respectful. He may raise his voice, use harsh words, or even make personal remarks that sting. His anger can make situations feel unsafe or tense, and he doesn't always know when to stop.
Does he have a bad temper?
Yes, he's the kind of man who gets angry very quickly. Even small problems can set him off, leading to shouting or harsh words. You deserve peace and kindness, not constant worry or fear.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He finds it hard to say sorry and take responsibility for his actions. When things go wrong, he's likely to blame you or bring up your mistakes instead of admitting his own. This habit can make you feel at fault even when you aren't, and it can become a heavy burden over time.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He is not always good at respecting your boundaries, especially if he is upset or wants things his way. If you say no or ask for space, he might push back, argue, or even ignore your wishes, thinking his needs matter more in that moment. Sometimes he may make you feel guilty or pressured instead of listening and stopping right away.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, he is likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Instead of understanding that everyone has off days, he may feel rejected or hurt, and he might show his disappointment through sulking, irritation, or even angry words. This sort of reaction can make physical closeness feel like a test instead of something loving.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
With him, you need to be careful. He may not always handle private moments with the care and respect they deserve. This can leave you feeling exposed or worried about opening up in the future.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is mostly the type who wants things his way and likes control, so he's not constantly distracted by other women. However, if he feels unappreciated or angry in the relationship, he might look for attention elsewhere. Not always in a direct way, but maybe through flirting or seeking praise. Open communication and respect are extra important if you try to build trust with someone like him.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
Yes, he tends to be over possessive. You might notice him getting jealous easily, wanting to know where you are, who you're with, or even checking up on your phone or messages. He could set strict rules about what you can do, question your choices, or get angry if he feels left out or not in control.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
Yes, with him, what might look like a protective nature is often just a cover for being controlling. At first, his concern can feel caring, like wanting you to be safe or checking in on you, but soon it starts to feel like you're being watched, managed, or told what to do all the time. If you feel trapped instead of treasured, listen to those feelings.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He is likely to expect you to do most of the parenting work. He might step in now and then with advice or make decisions about the children, but the daily effort, feeding, cleaning, comforting, helping with homework, will mostly fall on your shoulders. If things go wrong or the kids misbehave, he may criticize rather than help, making you feel even more alone in the job.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he's more likely to lose his temper than stay calm. Even small accidents or simple mistakes can trigger a sharp reaction. He may raise his voice, get angry quickly, or say things that hurt their feelings. This can leave children feeling scared or unsure of themselves.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He will mostly see you as a mother first and expect you to focus on home and family above all else. While he might respect your care for the children and household, he's less likely to recognize or encourage your dreams and independence outside of these roles. For a woman who wants to grow as both a mother and an individual, this could feel very limiting and lonely.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, he is the kind of man who might support your career at first, but later ask you to quit once you have a child. His priorities are usually centered on home and family, and he expects you to take on that role fully. While he may cheer you on before marriage or pregnancy, things can change quickly after the baby arrives.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He's more likely to act polite on the surface with your parents rather than showing real warmth and affection. He may do what's socially expected, like greeting them or joining family events, but his interest usually stops there. Deep conversations, genuine care, or thoughtful gestures for your parents may be rare. He's more likely to expect your family to change for him rather than making much effort to adjust himself.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he's more likely to make things worse instead of handling it calmly. When emotions run high, he tends to lose his temper quickly, speak sharply, or pull away and act upset, which can create even more conflict. This can leave you feeling caught in the crossfire, trying to keep both sides from blowing up.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he is very much the kind of man who might act modern and easygoing with you in private, but expect you to become a traditional supportive wife whenever his relatives are around. At home, he may seem open minded, but when guests or family visit, he'll likely want you to dress, behave, and serve in ways that match their expectations, even if it's not your natural style. It's something to think about if you want to be truly yourself, wherever you are and whoever is watching.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension between you and his family, he's more likely to stay out of it or even side with them rather than stand up for you. He often avoids open conflict, especially with his own parents or relatives, and may expect you to adapt or keep quiet to keep the peace. If you need his support or want him to speak up for you, he may disappoint you by staying silent or asking you to adjust. This can leave you feeling alone and unsupported in tricky family situations, making it hard to trust that he has your back when you need him most.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He is very likely to be a mummy's boy. In any conflict between you and his mother, he will almost always choose her side or avoid the issue instead of supporting you clearly. He may find it difficult to stand up to his mother or question her wishes, even if he knows you're right or your feelings matter. This pattern can make you feel secondary in your own marriage, and it's important to think about how much this will affect your happiness.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
Yes, he is likely to share many details of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. Instead of keeping your relationship matters just between the two of you, he may go to them for advice, comfort, or even to justify his actions. It also means you might be judged unfairly by his relatives, who hear only his side of the story.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
So, after all that analysis, we can conclude that this guy is a C minus. This guy is below par and he has some serious issues to watch out for. Day in and day out, being in a relationship with this man can feel exhausting and lonely. You'll likely find yourself walking on eggshells, always trying to keep the peace and meet his high expectations both at home and with his family.